Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to discuss your today topic that is both timely as well as that important how entrepreneurship fuels the knowledge economy. In this session, we will explore how entrepreneurship play a critical role in the shaping the knowledge economy. Then how innovative entrepreneurs are driving new ideas, creating jobs, and contributing to sustainable
Sustainable
growth
growth.
in today's rapidly changing world. As management and commerce students, you are at the forefront of understanding and navigating this transformation, right? So, the skills you develop today will play a vital role in tomorrow's knowledge driven economy. So, understanding entrepreneurship and how it connect with technology and innovation will empower you to create opportunities for yourself and others. To guide our discussion, we will cover the following key points today. what exactly knowledge economy is and why it's so relevant today. Second, the role of entrepreneurship in driving this economy. Third, some real world examples. Then, how this shift affect your future careers as commerce and management professionals. We can see one by one. What is the knowledge economy? The knowledge economy is an economic system where the creation, distribution, and utilization of knowledge become the primary drivers of growth, productivity, and innovation. The three thing is primary drives, right? The rather than traditional factors like physical labor and resources. So in that modern economy, we focus mainly three things in the entrepreneurship concept, especially the growth, productivity, and innovation. It focuses on intellectual capabilities instead of physical inputs or natural resources. You know that previously the entrepreneurship concept, I mean the factors of productions mainly having 4 M's: men, machines, money, and material. That is 4 things we can say that it's a factors of productions. But now the one more M's are there. That is method. Yes. So the method also most important in the corporate world, in the competitive world. Yes, that method is normally focused on growth, productivity, as well as the innovations, right? So what is the key characteristics of a knowledge economy? In a knowledge economy, the key resources are knowledge, information, and intellectual property. Think of this industries like technology, finance, media, manufacturing, logistics, or whatever may be, the healthcare, where the value is largely intangible. For example, Google is a great example of a company in the knowledge economy. Their products such as search engine and cloud services rely on knowledge generations, algorithms, and data to create values, right? So the comparison to traditional economy, in a traditional economy, growth was often tied to the production of goods and services using the raw materials. However, in the knowledge economy, the emphasis is on innovation, education, and information also. Example, whereas manufacturing industry rely on physical goods and labor, companies like Apple and Microsoft generate significant value through intellectual capital, designing software, building ecosystems, and also creating new forms of technology. So, to summarize of this line, the knowledge economy is an economy where knowledge rather than physical assets, it is the key driver of growth. This shift to a knowledge driven economy is reshaping
അത്
the
അത് പുറത്തേക്ക് പോകണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവരോട് ചോദിച്ചോളാം. പോകണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നേരെ സാറാനെ വിളിച്ച് പെർമിഷൻ മേടിച്ച് പൊക്കോ. എനിക്കും കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
is to shift to a knowledge driven economy is reshaping industries and particularly the evident in technology, finance, healthcare, as well as the education industry. Understanding this shift is important because It frames how business models are evolving and highlight the importance of innovation and intellectual capital in modern economies. As we move forward, we look at how entrepreneurship play a direct role in the transformation and how you as future manager and entrepreneurs can leverage these challenges. What is entrepreneurship in this context? The entrepreneurship is the key to unlocking the knowledge economy. That is, the entrepreneurs is the heart of the knowledge economy. How the finance is the blood of business, we can say like that na. So the entrepreneurship is at the heart of knowledge economy. The entrepreneurship create business that generate value by the harnessing the intellectual property and leveraging technology and especially for innovation. The entrepreneurship turn ideas into product or services that meet consumer needs, but their value lies in their ability to innovate, then disrupt traditional industries and also create new markets. What is the role of entrepreneurship? The entrepreneur create job and business that support not just their own venture but entire sectors. They drive technological innovation which is critical for the knowledge based economy also. Example, take Byju's. Yes, Ravindran. Yes, the founder of Byju's on EdTech company. His entrepreneurial vision has revolutionized learning in India and beyond by transforming traditional education into an accessible digital platform. He has created a huge impact on the knowledge economy. Are you agree that? Yes, previously you know that the third standard students, or if you take seventh standard students, if you take that after completion of 12th students, if you go for coaching center, tuition center, definitely we go for physical appearance, right? Then after enter the Byju's, everybody's are just to attend the extra classes, tuition, everything through online. This is what to all the online, the digital education platform, the Ravindran taking their initiatives, right, to spread the online education. This is the base. Based on that, now the digital universities launches not only in India, in global level. So the base is the Byju's Ravindran. We can call like that, right? So that is innovation. That is that entrepreneurship knowledge creations, right? So the entrepreneurship is on economic transfer. The entrepreneurship in the knowledge economy are not just business owners. There are agents of change, constantly pursuing boundaries and shaping the future of various industries. We can say that the entrepreneurship is not just about starting a business. It is about driving the innovation, creating values, as well as shaping the industries. So the entrepreneurship providing good knowledge, technology and creative idea to solve real world problems and create economic growth also. The key drivers of the knowledge economy. The first one is innovation and R&D, that is research and development. Innovation is nothing, it's a creativity, right? The innovation is the backbone of the knowledge economy. The new ideas, the innovation and improvements drive the creation of new product, process and technologies also. You know that the entrepreneur having four division. One is innovative entrepreneur, second one is imitative entrepreneur, third one is Fabian entrepreneur, fourth one is broad entrepreneur. You know that the first entrepreneur type is innovative entrepreneur. The innovative entrepreneur, those who are fall in the innovations, the innovative entrepreneurs always to do the creativity in their business. For example, the last year, the company got 20 percentage of profit or more than 30 percentage of turnover. But they want to take all the things as it is, whatever they follow their previous years, right? That is innovative entrepreneurs. The previous year, what are the changes we can incorporate? They are always thinking like that. The innovative entrepreneurs don't want to bother about their profit or productivity or task achievement or goal achievements. Their intention is future achievement of the vision. Yes, they are not bothered about their mission. They are always focused in the vision goal. That innovative entrepreneur is the best. That only the new products are introduced in our market. The satisfy their customers, the convenient to feel the consumers, everything possible because of innovative entrepreneur. Second entrepreneurs is imitative entrepreneur. The imitative entrepreneur only bother about their profit. They just opposite of the innovative entrepreneur. The imitative entrepreneurs always to imitate other people methodology, other people procedures, everything. For example, in on televisions, one of the particular shows getting TRP rate is high means immediately to copy, I mean imitate the those particular channels shows, they are copy and pasted here. That much of entrepreneur is imitative entrepreneurs. That imitative entrepreneurs don't bother about their innovations, don't bother about their creativity. They are only bother about their achieving their business, then getting the maximization of profit. That's it. The third entrepreneur is Fabian entrepreneur. The Fabian entrepreneur we can called as a traditional entrepreneur. We can say like that. Those entrepreneurs normally don't bother about their profit, don't bother about their innovations. They are always just focus about their traditional things. For example, some of the hotels, you know that still they are following only for the traditional foods. Those are people, I mean, the Fabian entrepreneurs, not to including their automation as well as the technology in their business also. The traditional methods only they are followed. The thing is, they don't have any biggest vision. If, for example, the monthly, the target is 50,000 means, okay, the 50,000, how we can earn the 50,000? That is the goal of traditional entrepreneur. The traditional entrepreneur, I mean the Fabian entrepreneur, it's not a competitor for anyone. They set some goal, they are traveling towards the goal. That's it. The drawn entrepreneur, the fourth one is drawn entrepreneur. The drawn entrepreneur is a very different type of people. That people, some of the forces, some of the stimulate, they are just enter their business. For example, the father is died, so he or she committed to come to the business to manage the family business, like that. Those people don't have any intention, they don't have any vision also, so uninterestedly to enter the business field. So the drone entrepreneur is a very pathetic people. They don't have involved any business activities. So these four entrepreneur type is there in our society. But anyway, the innovative entrepreneur is best. The innovative entrepreneur is spreaded our society more than 60 to 70 percentage. That's only new startups, new business, everything should be coming for day by day. Okay, so the key drivers of the knowledge economy, the first one is innovation and R&D. The second one is talent and skills. The knowledge economy thrive on skilled labors and specialized expertise. For example, the engineers, scientists, designer and technologists are in demand to build and optimize the innovative solutions. Example, the success of the companies like Amazon and Facebook would not have been possible without teams of skilled engineers, right? Then data scientists pushing forward the new technology in cloud computing as well as that social networking. Third key driver is IT, information technology. The IT systems are crucial for storing, that is analyzing, sharing the information also. The big data, cloud computing, even AI or all enablers of innovation and economic development. Example, IBM and Microsoft are investing heavily in cloud computing, enabling business to access data and tools that help them complete globally. Right? The last key driver is global connectivity. The rise of the internet and digital platform has brought the world closer together, then creating opportunities for knowledge exchange and collaborative innovation on a global scale. Consider Zoom video communications. It enables people worldwide to work, learn, and collaborate during the pandemic, making a global impact on business operation and personal communication, right? So, as we have seen, the key drivers of the knowledge economy include innovation, R&D, talent and skill, then information technology and global connectivity. These forces work together to create a thriving ecosystems where entrepreneurs can thrive. The innovation in product and process supported by skills and talent and cutting edge technology is transforming industries globally. The next we can see that how the entrepreneurship fuel the knowledge economy. The first one is transform idea into marketable product and services. The entrepreneurship acts as a bridge between raw knowledge and practical applications. In the knowledge economy, where information, research, and intellectual capabilities are the primary assets. So the entrepreneur play a critical role in commercialization, especially the innovations. For example, the researcher may discover a novel AI algorithms, but it often takes on entrepreneur to build a company around it. So create a user-friendly application and bring it to market. This transformation of ideas into visible product or services generate value for both the economy and societies. So here, what way we go for takeaway, the entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur operational knowledge turning theoretical insights into tangible economic outcomes. So the second one is create high skill employment. Startups and innovative drive enterprises typically require the workforce skilled in advanced technologies, even data analytics, even the business strategy and decision thinking also. As a result, the entrepreneurship create demand for highly educated and specialized professional. This boosts employment in knowledge intensive sectors such as biotech, fintech, AI, and clean energy, as well as that blockchain area also. So the example, a startup in precious medicines may employ informatic persons, then the software engineer or high skilled role that support that broader innovative ecosystems like that. Third one is accelerates that innovation cycle. That is, the entrepreneurs are nimble and often operate outside the slower uh, cycling of large organizations. So they rapidly test and refine ideas, shortening the time from concept to implementations. This uh, factors pushes the broader economy to innovative faster and encourage the culture of continuous improvement. That innovative cycle, the faster innovative cycle, means the quicker responsible to market needs and global challenges for pandemic response to sustainability solutions. Then fourth one is enable faster diffusion of knowledge and technology. The entrepreneurial ventures often act as a vehicle for spreading cutting edge technology and knowledge across region, industries, and sectors. Once a new technology is produced, automatically the competitors and complementary firms adopt it, amplifying its impact. Example, cloud computing. Okay, once pioneered by startup, is now a fundamental technology across nearly every industries, enabling new business models and service worldwide. Then last one is fosters collaboration between academicians, especially industrial people, and us and also the government employees. The entrepreneurship often sites at the interaction of research, application, and policy. Many startups originate from academic research, leverage public grants or incentives, and engage with industry partners for commercialization. This triple helix model, we can say that it is a triple helix model. That is academia, that is the triangle model. The academician always depends on the industry people, the industries people depends upon the government collaboration. So this is the triangle system, strengthen the knowledge economy by aligning innovation with real world impact. Example, the university incubators and government funded technological hubs. Yes, illustrate how cross sector collaboration drive breakthrough innovations. The entrepreneurship is the engine of the knowledge economy. Right? All are accepted this one, right? So it does not just create the companies, it creates ecosystem where knowledge become a protective economic force. For the management students or the commerce background students, this means the opportunity not only to lead the ventures, but to catalyze the systematic change through innovations, right? Example, yes, the startup that transform idea into global innovations. Example, Google. Stanford PhD project, it's global tech gains. It's one of the project. It's founded on the back of academic research into the search algorithms. The Google is a classic example of turning cutting edge knowledge into the market dominating services. So that's why here I'm taking their Google. Yes, it's a best example of cutting edge knowledge into the market dominating service. So it commercialized search, advertising, cloud computing, and now leads to the AI research also. Then second one is Infosys. You know, that started in 1981 with an idea of leverage India engineering talent to offer IT service globally. Infosys was a key player in building India's reputation as a global tech hub, creating thousands of high-skilled jobs and advancing the global IT knowledge economy. So it's a best example of this entrepreneurship knowledge. I mean, the startup that transform idea into global innovations, right? Then Coursera. It's online learning app now from top universities. It's emerged from Stanford. The computer science faculty, one of the computer science faculty is working from Stanford University. So the Coursera it is the democratified education by offering courses from allied institutions online, enabling global knowledge diffusion and lifelong learning opportunities also. This is also best example. It started from startup, then now it's globally coverage. Everything is happened. Second one is sectors impacted by knowledge driven entrepreneurship. What are the sectors impacted? Previously, we can see the example only the startup that transform idea into global innovation. That is 3 example: the Google, then Infosys company, then Coursera. Now we can see the sectors impacted by knowledge driven entrepreneurship. Of course, first one is fintech. Yes, example, Paytm, Stripe. Yes, the revolutionary payment, lending, and personal finance through secure digital platform. Of course, all the bankings nowadays just to using their fintech technologies, right? The fintech is nothing. The finance just to be merged with technology. That's it. The traditional system transaction, everything go for manually. Now the fintech, everything go for system digital platforms, using some digital platform. That's it. Another one is health tech. You know, lot of health tech also, lot of platform is there, just to be telemedicines, then personal genomics, as well as that health data analytics are transforming diagnostics and cares. You know that many of the treatments go for Zoom, as well as the doctor appointment. Many of the times the metros and cosmo cities now just to be transformed. The face-to-face discussion should be omitted. Now everything for the digital platform to discuss with doctor as well as patients using their digital platform like Google, Microsoft or something. Yes. Then edutech also. You know that nowadays, yes, our class also one of the best example, right? Previously, it's very difficult. For example, the time of 8:30 to 9:30, it's difficult to present the physical classes, right? To conduct the physical classes. So based on the convenient, another thing is if you conduct that online, na, so we can coverage for wider students also, right? So the education ed tech, it's helpful for our students as well as faculty convenient also. The edutech, it's boosting their kick economy. I told that now it's a part-time. Yes, the part-time learning also possible, the part-time job also possible for edtech field, right? Example, open, right? Byju's and Eduving. Lot of edutech nowadays, it's very familiar. Then last one is AI. You know, OpenAI, then DeepSeek. It's pioneering general purpose machine learning tool with application across the industries. Then I'm here giving some case studies. Yes, Flipkart impact on India's digital commerce. The background, it's founded in the Flipkart is founded in 2007 by two ex-Amazon engineers. The Flipkart started as an online bookstore. Its entrepreneurial role here, it identified the gap in India's e-commerce infrastructures, logistics, digital payment, and built on end-to-end solutions. So the impact on knowledge economy, the large-scale digital logistics and warehousing in India stimulated the growth of digital payment ecosystem, which also helped UPI adoption, right? So create thousands of technology and operational jobs, then enable small business to sell nationally through the marketplace of model. You know that in e-commerce, to compare the Amazon and Flipkart, one person, yes, the only the two person it started for Mizo. Yes, nowadays now it's the turnover to compare the, you know, the Amazon is the US based company. It's invested lot of $1 billion, but the Mizo is simply started. But only the thing is now, especially for the e-commerce, the compare in India, to compare the Amazon, the Mizo is leading their profit level because of the thing is they are Mizo covered for the remote areas. But the Amazon, only the Amazon Flipkart previously covered for only metro cities and cosmo cities, especially for the town areas. But the Mizo is focused for remote area. So it's one of the success. It is the knowledge innovations, right? To use their knowledge to capture their market, right? So these are the real-time example. It's helpful for little bit understanding their today's concept. Next, move on to the impact on management and commerce field in the knowledge economy. The first one is demand for new age business roles. The innovative managers, the companies increasingly seek professionals who can manage innovation pipeline, turning R&D output into scalable business solutions. The managers connect cross-functional teams, technology, market, finance, and foster a culture of continuous experimentations. Next one is digital strategist. The specialist who guide business in digital transformation, cloud migrations, then omni-channel retail and digital customers journey. Yes, they align digital tools with business objectives, ensuring that technology adoption support growth and productivity. So the example strategist who help legacy bank transition to mobile first platform, right? So the next one is data driven marketers. The marketing has evolved from creative led to analytics led. That is, the marketer now need to analyze user behavior, optimize conversation ratio, and personalize campaign using AI and big data. So the tool like Google Analytics, HubSpot, and TableU, yes, are part of daily decision making. Example, EdTech firm using ERB testing and behavioral data to optimize the student engagement. The second one is rise of gig workers, digital consultant, and remote entrepreneurship. You know, the digital economy enable professionals to work independently from anywhere, forming a broadless workforce. Platform like Upwork and Topple has created new income models for consultant creatives, especially technical experts. Then remote entrepreneurship. Running a startup, e-commerce brand or service business from a laptop has become a legitimate career path. So this shift promotes flexibility, diverse career portfolio, and scalable solo venture. Example, the digital nomad buildings, SaaS, that is tools and selling them through subscription model while traveling. Yes, you know that edutech, we don't have any buildings, right? The digital university, you think that the universities, just to imagine how the universities it looks, it's having it's located more than 300 acres, right? So it's the building constructions, everything, it's a very big buildings, the 4 to 5 floors, the admin floors, departmental wise building, the infrastructure, everything to need their universities. Yes, more than 1,000 crores we want to spend the start that university. But in the digital university, same, all the courses of offering, yes, but only for it's enough for 1,000 square feet. We can possible to make the digital university. So these are the difference is that, right? So the knowledge economy, the entrepreneurship concept, it stimulate their, yes, gig economy, everything, right? The digital platforms everywhere. Then third one is emergence of distributive business model. That is freemium. Yes, it's offer basic services for free while charging for premium features. Right? Second is drivers large user acquisition and leverage data for monopoly. Example, Zoom or Spotify. Then, SaaS, the expansion is service, software as a service. That is the subscription-based software hosted in the cloud. The eliminating the need for physical infrastructure. The scale rapidly and ensure recurring revenue streams. Example, Salesforce and Notion. Yes, next one is platform economy. Business create digital platform that connect users, example, buyers, sellers, creators, intermediaries, rather than owning their traditional assets. Then value comes from network effect and user generated activity. Right? Example, Uber, transport, yes, Canva, that is designing tools. These are the example. So here I'm just giving some conclusion. The knowledge economy demand agile thinkers, especially tech fluent managers and entrepreneurial mindset also. Success is no longer about managing predictable operations, but navigating rapid changes and digital ecosystems and unstructured innovations. This shift open exciting career path, but also require continuous upskilling and adaptability. The next one is challenges and considerations. Access of funding and intellectual property protection. First one is access to capital. While many high growth startups thrive on venture capital, access to funding remains uneven, especially in emerging market or for underrepresented founders. Example, women, then minority groups like. Then traditional financial systems may not be equipped to access the risk reward profiles of knowledge-based business, example, biotech or deep tech venture and long R&D cycles also. So the crowdfunding, angel networks and government innovations grants are growing alternative, but their reach is still limited. Then IP protection also, that is intellectual property protection. In a knowledge-driven economy, ideas, algorithms, patterns, and brand IP are core assets. It's just to protect their frauds and misrepresents. So the weak or unclear IP laws can discourage innovations, especially in regions where enforcement is laws or that is privacy is ignored. So the global entrepreneurs often face legal complexity when operating across multiple jurisdictions with differing IP regimes, right? So the implication is ensuring equitable access to capital and reboost IP frameworks is essential to support inclusive as well as sustainable innovative ecosystems. Then digital divide and knowledge inequality. Unequal access to digital tools and infrastructure, right? So high-speed internet, advanced devices, and digital literacy are not evenly distributed, particularly in rural or unserved communities, right? We are accepted these things, right? So this is the major challenges. So this digital divide leads to knowledge inequality, where some regions people benefit fully from the knowledge economy while others are excluded. So here that education gaps also, even with online platform like Coursera or Khan Academy, then many lacks the fundamental education or supportive systems to effectively engage with them. Then language barriers, affordability and digital skill also affect who can participate in new economy jobs. Here the implication is the benefits of the knowledge economy can deepen social and economic divides unless the government and the institution actively address digital inclusions and lifelong learning. Third one is need for adaptive regulation and ethical governance. The regulatory lag. Yes, the innovations moves faster than law. So emerging sectors like AI, biotech, and crypto often operate in legal gray zones, creating uncertainty for entrepreneurs and risk for consumers also. So over regulations can stifle the growth. Under regulation can lead to ethical branches, fraud, or market instability also. Then ethical challenges. With AI, data mining, and surveillance tools, business must navigate privacy, bias, and transparency issues also. So the ethical governance framework are still evolving, and many startups lack in house ethics or compliance resources. Then global policy coordination. The knowledge economy is borderless, right? But the regulation is not like that. So disparities in data laws, tax policies, and platform governance create friction and potential abuse. Implication is policymakers, the entrepreneurs, and civil society must collaborate to clear, adequate, ethical, and innovation-friendly governance models. So, success in the knowledge economy, it's not just about creating technology, it's about building fair, inclusive, and well-governed ecosystem. Yes, these things, these three things, we just to see that clearly in that slide. Then what is the skill future entrepreneurs need to success in the knowledge economy? So previous slide we discussed about their challenges. So what is the, if we can overcome the challenges, means what is the skills need for future entrepreneurs? First one is critical thinking and innovations. Entrepreneurs must be able to analyze complex problems, question assumptions, and develop original impact solutions. So in fast evolving information rich environment, success depends on the ability to connect seamless, unrelated ideas and anticipated future trends. The innovation is not just about invention, it is about value creation through rethinking their customers' experience, business model, or operational process also. You know that Elon Musk, right? It's challenging existing paradigm in transport, Tesla. So the space, right? That is and AI. Yes, that is the example of Tesla. So second one is financial and digital literacy. Financial literacy is crucial for budgeting, fundraising, pricing strategy, managing burn rates also, and understanding valuation, especially in startup and in investor-driven environment. Then digital literacy, it goes beyond basic computer skills. It includes understanding data tools, platforms, cloud system, cyber security, and also the skill needed for tech like blockchain and AI. Then the future entrepreneurs need to be comfortable with tech-enabled business models and know how to access ROI on digital investment. You know that return on investment on digital platforms. Third one is collaboration and networking skills also needed. The entrepreneur is not a solo endeavor. It's a successful entrepreneur build cross-functional teams. It's collaborate with partners and engage with customers yearly and often. For example, that edutech field, we just collaborate with foreign universities. I mean the partners universities, it's located in abroad. So these are the things helpful. These are the skill needed for to expand their network also. So the networking open door to mentor, investors, suppliers, and co-founders. It's a vital for knowledge sharing and scaling. Then lifelong learning mindset. That is also the skill is needed. You know, in the knowledge economy, the information become absolute quickly. Update their knowledge, adopt new tools, and be open feedbacks and failure. These are the things the entrepreneur must to concentrate. So this require intellectual humility, curiosity, and also ability to self-educated through courses, peer learning or experimentations. So the lifelong learner sees every challenges as an opportunity to evaluate. To succeed as entrepreneurs in the knowledge-driven world, it's not enough to have a good ideas. You need some skills to think critically, use technologically, then collaborate and across the network and keep learning indefinitely. Right? Then entrepreneur is the fuel, knowledge is the engine. So in the modern economy, the ideas, research, and information are the most valuable resources. The entrepreneurs convert these resources into product, service, and system that create real world impact. Without entrepreneurship, the knowledge remains dormant. That is, without knowledge, the entrepreneurs lacks directions. So the knowledge economy equal to sustainable high value growth. It is one of the formula. Sustainable plus high value growth equal to knowledge economy. So the knowledge economy drives long-term inclusive growth. It's focusing on high skill job, scalable innovations, digital infrastructures, and environment and socially conscious business model. Then you are at the center of this transformation. You are means the management and commerce students. Yes, you are the future leader. You are not just the participants, you are the architects of the future economy. So whether you lead a startup or manage innovations in the corporation or advise the government or build social venture, whatever, it's your choice, your decision shape how knowledge is used. Equip yourself with the right skills, stay curious, and embrace the entrepreneurship as both a mindset and a tool for change. Yes, then next question and answer, please. Invite the questions in your side. If you having, please ask the questions. You know that today the entrepreneurship concept, everyone just to be said, capital is the most important for any business to start or creation. So mainly the entrepreneurship act as a capitalist, we can say. Yes, that statement only. Normally they are taking the classes, but today I'm just too differently to taking one concept, that is the knowledge economy. The entrepreneurship need the knowledge. Yes, just to ignore the traditional skills, to include the innovation and creativity, that only. Yes, that skills, that important innovative skills important for the future entrepreneur. I'm taking their little bit different concept here, but this is true only, right? You know that AI, it's one of the most important revolutions created our business. The automation is one of the things or one of the revolutions create our business, right? So here the knowledge is everything. So the entrepreneurs need their good innovative knowledge is most important. That knowledge driven to the best entrepreneurship. Okay. Do you have any doubts or clarification, please? Another thing is silently to watch the classes. Definitely it's not to getting any knowledge, right? The discussion only to lead their knowledge, the discussion only to stimulate your curiosity. Okay, if having at least the last 10 minutes to participate at least the discussion part, okay, it's helpful for you as well as your peer learners also. I hope that all are understanding these sessions, right? If you don't have any questions, please leave the session. You don't have any questions, please leave the sessions.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.